Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jörg. Okay, so of course, we would be remiss if we were not to speak more in depth about AI and its potential and actual uses for enhancing training and education in this field of anti-corruption that we're all concerned with. So I'm very conscious of time. Please do ask any questions you wish to have the panelists respond to in the Q&A section. But now we're going to go into a lightning round of presentations by Jacopo, Peter, and Thierry to hear their thoughts on how they are using and planning to continue to use and expand the uses of AI in their work. So first of all, I'm going to ask Jacopo to come in, and I believe he has some slides. So Jacopo, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Tara, can you just show, please, the presentation I've shared with you? I would like just to give a very brief intro on a couple of points we think are relevant overall in how using scenario building for education purpose. And this is quite a novel approach and is also really useful for what we do. So next slide, please, Tara. Thierry has already touched the point of gamification. So gamification of anti-corruption knowledge transfer, it's a different way to permit students or practitioners, in the case of the training that we are offering, to thinking and using critically the concepts, informations, insights that they have learned during lessons or training in a different, untraditional, we can see, and probably funnier way, through an interactive and collaborative framework where students and people can sit down in group, work together, and think critically together. Tara, please, next slide. What is interesting, and I found very interesting, is contribution of Molik and Molik. They identified basically 7 approaches for students. In one case, and this is a little bit of context, we can use, for example, artificial intelligence as a sort of mentor, that provides immediate reaction to student projects or student work. We can use artificial intelligence as a tutor, where basically provide direct instruction and educational guidelines to students or to participate into a training or to a course. We can use artificial intelligence as a coach that helps students to engage and articulate their thoughts, their ideas about past events or future plans. We can use it as a teammate, really sitting as an actor, sitting together, forcing individuals to recognize and balance skills, offering us help in team to answer questions or questioning assumption or supplying alternative point of view. We can use it as a student, by checking with the student understanding or fluency about the topic, by interacting, and really students who try to teach artificial intelligence about a topic or evaluate output. And the 6th one is probably my favorite one, is using artificial intelligence as a simulator. And here is where we are in terms of building scenarios that offer role playing, offer a different way to cope with real life situation. And this is something that probably both Peter and Thierry can discuss a little bit more than me, because this is really where we are at the frontier, while using in different ways. And maybe Tara, please, next slide quickly, of using artificial intelligence in different way. We can use artificial intelligence as a support for building scenario. But at the same time, we can use artificial intelligence as one of the player or the game master, for using a language, that we can mutuate from, for example, Dangerous and Dragons or other board game. So as as a mastermind behind the creation and the implementation of a gamified experience. Or at the same time, we can use artificial intelligence to manage or to administrate, we can say like that, the game, keeping track of the game results, and etc., etc. Really, we have tried, for example, together with Claudia, to adopt this scenario building experience, for example, in a course we are giving at the University of Basel, including students at the end of our lesson in this sort of scenario building experience, where they have to apply concretely the knowledge that we teach them each lesson to specific situation, every time changing. And this is a sort of really different and probably fresh way to try to force and to oblige students to think critically and to apply the knowledge they have learned during a course, during a class, or during a training. So this is just some indication that I want to give. I would like to leave the floor to Peter and Thierry to add inputs on that. This is just to say that how interesting can be really to go through anti-corruption know-how, knowledge by adopting this more gamified style of knowledge transfer. So please, thank you very much. The word to my colleagues.
Still on mute, Claudia.
Sorry, classic mistake. I need AI to remind me. I got Peter to remind me I'm muted, but yeah, shouldn't be happening. Anyway, so Peter, Thierry, tell us more about how you are also using AI these days in the e-learning and training offers.
I think I can come in because I think it fits quite well with Jacopo's more general introduction, and I can probably give examples how we already make use of AI currently for enhancing our training and creating new materials. So I go back to my presentation here. So AI for e-learning or learning, so in general. So, and I gave some examples here, some very basic, some probably a bit more advanced. So one thing, what we use it for actually, or what I partly use it is for just a brainstorming companion, right? I want to create a course on OSINT. What are topics I should include? And then we have these kind of magic large language models, which will give me a bit of like a first outline for a course, what to include, how it might look like. Admittingly, like the way I would put here, I would never build that course because it looks like extremely boring from the way how it's set up. But at least you can get an idea of what probably content can go in there, what are like the elements, and you can further adjust. You can tell, I don't want to teach content-based, but I want more skills. So what are skills that somebody needs for open source intelligence operations? So then probably the answer would already look more like a course that what I would love to build. So very simple. I use that here, ChatGPT. There are a lot of different tools out there which can do a similar job on this. Content creation. So sometimes it's tedious. Yeah, I don't like multiple choice quizzes, but sometimes, unfortunately, you still need them pre-post test, whatever. And sometimes also participants really want it. They want like a simple way how to receive feedback. And to create these questions and mainly the answers might be tedious. You don't want to end up with like answers which are just completely unrelated and might be easy to answer, but you want like answer possibilities which are a bit more likely. So I ask here, create 4 answer possibilities for the question, what is OSINT? One is correct, the others are wrong. Make it not too obvious. What is the right answer? And then it came up with these elements here. So question, what is OSINT? A covered method of collecting classified documents, systematic analysis of confidential sources, the collection of use of public available information, or technology for encrypting online communications. If you never heard of OSINT before, or you had no idea, I think these possibilities are not too bad, actually. They might trick one or two of you. I don't know. So, but at least it saved me a lot of time to create these answer possibilities. So very convenient. Content creation goes further, right? So content is not just text, but content also includes images, video, and audio. See on the left, create a photorealistic picture of two people. One is IT, one is training team. They give a high five to depict good collaboration. So, and ChatGPT created that photo for me, which looks a bit AI, but also quite realistic in a way. So we are getting there. And what is kind of new to these tools that these days you can see even the text on the t-shirt is right. So, and I think they have the right number of fingers, right? So it's kind of things, these tools are getting more mature these days. Further down the line is video generation. So video generation also works already. It takes a bit more time. It's mostly limited to a couple of seconds, but video could be a great way to make some of your interactions more lively, to show like a video of a person. I also imagine like later on maybe interviews where the person not just have like text-based input output, but where you can really talk and get like a in-time generated video of like your interview partner who reacts to what you say. So I don't think it will take too long, but at some point it will happen. And audio, if you want to integrate audio in e-learning, it's difficult, right? Because you need to know exactly what your text looks like. If you do any change, then you probably need another take from a speaker to have the audio again. Or if you want to have like another language, so you want to translate your e-learning, so you need a speaker in that language to put in the audio. Extremely complicated. With AI, we get like pretty good quality audio these days. So in the past, audio often sound extremely creepy if it was like created by the computer, but nowadays it's getting really realistic. So great possibilities for e-learning. Then one very obvious one is translation. So far we mainly need to go to like a translation agency, have things translated. Here you see one of the evidence actually that we use in an on-site training. This is the English version. It's a bit more complex because it's HTML, so it has like a website in a way. So this is why the input here on the left looks maybe a bit scary to some of you who never used HTML. But the great thing is that the tool here, I use DeepL actually for the translation, is doing a good job in keeping all these formatting, all these elements which are specific for like the layout of the page, and just does the translation of the content itself. So this is a bit of a game changer for us, which makes it much, much easier for us to translate training to different languages. So already in use from our side. Another part is for analysis. So large language models are not always good at math, but they're getting better and better. So what I tried just before this webinar here, I exported a pre and a post test from an on-site training we did in the past, and then asked the large language model, so AI, can you create a summary of these pre-post tests? And then it came up here with a summary. So it says like participants completed post-test, average pre-test score, average post-test score, average improvement, maximum improvement, minimum change. And then it even asked me, okay, do you want like a graphic for it? Oh yeah, why not? So it created that graphic for me. So very, very easy to do. I didn't check the numbers. So as always, AI, you need to check what's really coming out in the end. But on first sight, it seems to work better than I saw it in the past. And then something we just implemented like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, and we will test for our first on-site training in Mozambique, is like a witness interview, which has an AI counterpart. So I give you like a very brief demonstration of this with 5 minutes, if I see correctly. So this is our training, which is available to the participants for the training we do in around 2 weeks. So here you see the different documents of evidence. And usually what we had is like a summary of a witness interview, document 3. So, and now with document 3, we try to use AI. So now I can show you here, like what Thierry already showed. It's password protected. The participants now need to tell the trainer, look, we want to interview the witness. And then the trainer said, yeah, how would you contact them? Yeah, we would write them an email. Okay, yeah, well done. You get the password, which I hope is now correct here. And yeah, so this unlocks now document 3, which is our AI witness interview. You have here our AI witness as like as a big picture, and then I can chat with that person. What is your name? So, and then in the background, like large language model works and gives these answers, I prompted it specifically with the knowledge of that witness. So it's not starting to now invent stuff which is not there, but it's very specifically prompted to answer like it would be that person. So where do you work? Example, and then it's telling us like I used to work as a manager in the Directorate of Public Works within the Ministry of Obras Públicas. However, I was dismissed from my position 4 months ago. What do you know about corruption? So, and then he starts a bit like telling here from the things that he saw during his work. So I observed companies bidding for public contracts were often required to make advance payments, which I believe were bribes into foreign bank accounts. This practice has been ongoing since at least 2022. So he provides that information now in a more engaging way. We will see how the participants will do. So we hope that this is a way to really get them excited. At some point, we will still reveal the summary of the interview. We don't want them to be hung up there for 2 hours to chat with that person. So it's important, just like one element of the training. But we are kind of excited to use this. And then what also Jacopo talked a bit about is like AI built training scenarios. So we have a prototype which we call Anti-Corruption Hero. We don't use it anywhere so far. It has also this kind of funny start here. It's more like a way how it might work later on. So what is it doing? It creates a corruption case and then allows you to kind of solve that case by answering certain questions. So I can say, okay, I want like an easy one, and it's creating a new case. What is important here is that this is like unique, right? Each time I go back to this tool and I restart it again, the case is different. So it has its challenges, right? For us as like teacher, or for us kind of trying to control, we need to find ways. Is this really what we want or not? So, but anyway, it's like a technical preview here. So you see like the explanation of the initial situation. It came up with this scenario, and then it's providing you with different ways how you can actually investigate this scenario. Extremely basic. If you're as old as I am, you might remember these text-based adventures that we used to have on computer, and it's a bit like that. So you ask another question, and then it comes up with like what's happening if you look at this. Okay, that's like just a technical preview here. On the longer run, so what are the benefits of AI for training and learning? So we saw we have much more effective creation of training through like creating content, quiz questions, and so on, making training more engaging, like the witness interview, expand to more languages. And down the line, we will find more ways to adapt learning to the participant based on his past learnings, on his profile, and so on. And yeah, I think I can leave it at that. And so maybe Thierry has 1 minute to. Sorry for that.
No worries. That was super interesting, Peter. Thank you. I'm, however, aware of time, and in my role as moderator, I think that we should be closing down. I think in any case, you have covered a lot of what Thierry would be saying. I just want to say a few words. And I want to actually paraphrase the words of the Nobel Prize winner, Daron Acemoglu, who said, we shouldn't really be scared of AI because AI is not about taking jobs away from people. It shouldn't be about people just becoming lazy and using AI rather than doing their work. It is about making people more productive. And I think that what Peter and Jacopo have discussed right now goes precisely in that direction. So it is about us being able to deliver more complicated, more complex, more sophisticated tools that go with the training, that go with our teaching, that make the experience a lot more immersive and interesting than it would be otherwise. And the fact that we can use AI to create these kind of complex, sophisticated scenarios also allows us to have a broader outreach and to be able to deliver more products ultimately to support our partners and audiences. So with that, we are out of time. I just want to thank our 3 speakers for a really great session. For our audiences, please, if you can spare 1 or 2 minutes and stay on and respond to our questionnaire, we would be really, really grateful for your feedback. Otherwise, please, if you have questions or interest in any of our educational and training offers, we're really easy to find. Reach out and we'll be very, very happy to assist you. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a nice afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are. And until next time.